Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrindavana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrindavana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Jaya Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Shyama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ramagyanurandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Mishtapadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachariणे Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyatta Deshatarine Namaham Ishtapadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Ateti Namine Shrivashabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojjala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvantahariणे Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagyamurtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gauravirbhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishayi Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jaitam Sarator Pangur Mamanda Mater Gati Matsarvaswapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastho Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Vrishtrali Visevyamano Smarami Sriman Rasarasarambhi Vamshivata Tatastitaha Karsham Veno Swaner Gopir Gopinataha Shriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So on behalf of Vrindavana Institute for Higher Education, just a small introduction.
Everybody knows me.
So yes, just a formality. Like Maharaj is going to take a seminar on Ṣad-darśana now, and if you remember last year, I think most of you were there. We were discussing about Dasmul Tattva, and it was a fabulous understanding, thoughtful. Maharaj had a conversation with all of us. So today we have assembled here for Ṣad-darśana, and Maharaj is going to take 5-day journey with all of us on this very important topic, as Maharaj himself mentioned in his video, like Prabhupada quote this thing that for the sitting on the Vyasasana one should know what are the Ṣad-darśana actually. We are very fortunate, this kind of seminars are not frequently available. So let's welcome Maharaj by loudly chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for coming and for giving this session. Thank you very much.
Hare. So hope you all received the notes in your group. Okay.
In the group.
In the group.
Who? Mataji's group. WhatsApp.
What's
In the
up?
man group they posted.
Post in every group now. Why you want?
In the man group they have it.
The men group is different, ladies group is different. Okay, post in no man is in lady man in ladies group, so I said to a man. So hope those are online also got those charts and today's notes, because it is got it, no? So done? All of you got? Mataji is not got. I'll send it to you.
I can share it.
Yeah, you can say it all ladies.
Yeah, little bit. Yes, ma'am.
We can hear you. Dandavat. So this course is on not Ṣad-darśana, but just a overview of it. Ṣad-darśana means it's a lifelong thing, and we don't require that kind of deep study of each subject matter. Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamamsa. It is just a kind of overview, so don't be in illusion that I'll be doing. Okay, let's choose the mobile, that is best. So these today basically we'll be doing introduction to Ṣad-darśana, and tomorrow actually we'll be starting with Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamamsa, Uttaramamsa, these 6 systems of philosophy. But today will be an overview, not overview, introduction kind of thing, where we're going to do introduction to the Vedas and also introduction to Ṣad-darśana. Got it? So there is one file which has been sent to you. It is known as number 1, Vedas Introduction, PDF. Vedas Introduction. Got it? Wow. Open that file. Now many people have this some vague idea of Vedas, what they are. You may say, you directed, why don't you speak about Ṣad-darśana? Why are you speaking about these Vedas? Because we should know the different categories of scriptures which are in the Vedic literatures. It is always useful to know that. Otherwise, we are always confused. What are Agamas? What are Samhitas? What are the Pancharatras? What is Tantra? All these things. And also, if you know, we should know that how Ṣad-darśana, what is the category, in which category does this Ṣad-darśana come into. So this is the purpose. Okay? So hope you have opened that particular file. Yeah. Somebody's opened that already. Who is controlling this thing? Online? Online, somebody is doing that. Okay, Vedas. Yeah. It's in the Zoom. Yeah, somebody is doing that. It's fine. I was just thinking of. Keep it. Because you may have to open other things also as we go. And also, I've given some charts to you. That's in the Word document. So, in the chart, if you can open the first one called Prasthana. Prasthanatraya. You can see that one chant called Prasthanatraya. Okay, let's start with this chart. In the due course of the, in due course of the course, you will be hearing some terminologies, but that is important to know these terminologies. If you know these terminologies, people accept you as a scholar. But they are simple. They are not very complicated terminologies. It's important to know these terminologies. And the first terminology is Prasthanatraya. Prasthana. Prasthan means what? I am going from this place, or where are you coming from? The place you are coming from, that is called Prasthana. Prasthana. Idhar se prasthan kar raha hu. Means the place where you are going out, or the place something is coming out. So knowledge comes from Vedas. That is why Veda is known as Prasthana. And why it is known as Traya? Means there are three categories within the Vedas. One is known as the Shruti Prasthana, the other one is known as the Smriti Prasthana, and third one is known as Nyaya. Generally, when the Western scholar speaks about Vedas, they always only talk about Shruti and Smriti. They say Shruti and Smriti, that's all. But they don't know there is something called Nyaya also. That is why the Vedic literature is known as Prasthanatraya. And sometimes the Vedas are addressed as Trayi. Trayi Kante Yanti Mangala Sutratam Trayi. Why it is called Trayi? Because Rig, Yajur, Sama. The main Vedic Vedas are Rig, Yajur and Sama. This is the reason why it is called Trayi. And the leftover becomes Athara Veda. So don't get confused between Prasthanatraya and why Vedas are called Trayi. Three. So Prasthanatraya, there is Shruti, Smriti, Nyaya. If you are able to get these three, what they are, then practically half knowledge is there about the Vedas. Shruti means the original four Vedas. Oh, scholars have come. Sadhu. The original four Vedas, that is Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharva. They are the original four Vedas. They are known as Shruti. And that Shruti, they are called Shruti because they have been heard and not written into a book format before Vyasa appeared. It was Vyasa who made the Vedic literatures into written format. That is why it is called Shruti. Now, if these Shrutis, they never change in Swara and Krama. They never change in Swara and Krama. When you chant the Veda, there is a particular Swara and that particular Krama. Swara means meter. There are Vedic meters and Puranic meters. Like for example, you have Anushtup Chanda. In simple Puranic style, you chant Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsava Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva Kimakurvada Sanjaya. But you Anushtup Chanda in Veda. Esha Vashamidam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tektena Mundetam Magradakasya Svidhanam. You cannot change the Swara. Of course, there are different shakhas in which the chanting has been, it varies, but it cannot change. So, and Krama, like for example, you have Bhagavad Gita, there is one verse which says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvata. You can change the order of the words. Karma janma me divyam, divyam me karma charma, no problem. Sometimes you can change the word also, like Prabhupada sometimes says, Janma karma chame yo janati tattvataha. Use the word janati. No problem, you can change. Because it is from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. Mahabharata comes under the part of Smriti, not Shruti. And the Shrutis, they don't change in any Brahmanda, in any period of time, any Kalpa, they don't change. They are sounds, they are Shabda Brahman. So these Shrutis, they talk generally about what to do, what is the subject matter. What to do is the subject matter of the Shrutis. Now, as soon as you hear the word what to do, hear the statement what to do, then automatically something comes to your mind. What is that? Go and cook halwa. How to cook? How to cook, isn't it? How to do is generally described in the Smriti. And why it is called Smriti? Because the Shrutis were heard by the sages. The sages heard the Shrutis and put it in their memory. Smriti means in their memory. So something coming out of the memory of a Rishi, that is called Smriti. So Smriti means memory. So get these things proper. Like for example, in the Veda, take for example, to simplify, Bhagavad Gita, though it is part of Smriti, it is a Shruti only because it has been described as Gitopanishad. It will be described as Gitopanishad. So now, if you have Gitopanishad, then Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, what does he say? That Nantakalecha Bhameva Smaram. Think of me at the time of death. Now, what is the question? How to think? How you think? Then you go to the Bhagavata, which is a Smriti, like Bhishma. So, the Smritis, they tell you how to do, not only just tell how to do, but they give an example, a story of a real person who did it. And that also gives a lot of inspiration to us. So one of the very outstanding points or the theological point which was put forward by Jiva Goswami, which no even Vaishnavacharya has done so boldly, is in the Tattva Sandarbha, where he describes the word Purana in a different way. Purnayati iti Puranaha. Puranas are called Purana because they complete the meaning of the Veda. So they are more important than the Vedas. Till now, no Vaishnavacharya or any atheistic people or anybody has boldly spoken that Puranas are more important than Vedas. Very special. I have heard even from Sri Vaishnava scholars, they are carried away by the modern understanding of Vedic literatures, who say we accept Puranas only to the extent of their confirmation with the Veda. As long as the Puranas are in adherence with the Vedas, original Vedas, Upanishads, we accept. Otherwise, no. They will not say otherwise, no. Smriti is a secondary, Smriti is primary. Because that is the biggest weapon used by the Anglican philosophers to destroy people's faith in the Veda, to destroy Hinduism in one sense. This was the biggest weapon used. And that has been injected into the consciousness of the people so much, to such an extent, that they believe it. Yes, even Vaishnavas believe that. If it is Veda, great. Purana has some story, some story. What is this Krishna dancing the gopis and all? It's okay, fine, you can read it, it is all nice, but Veda is the topmost. So, Jiva Goswami, a lot of credit has to be given to Jiva Goswami, who has explained the meaning of the Purana as Purnayati iti Purana, and he gives a very interesting example. He says a golden ring. See, you have earring. When you put an earring, there is one small clip kind of thing. Suppose it is lost. Something has happened, broke away. Now, how will you replace it? White iron ring? No, golden ring only. So, something incomplete, a golden ring which is incomplete, can be completed only by gold only. So, Puranas is also Vedic. Puranas are also Vedic because it is gold. You cannot complete a golden ring with iron ring, iron metal. You can only complete a golden ring with a gold only. So these Puranas, they are gold, means they are Vedic in nature. Not only Vedic in nature, the Puranas would have not been there. Even though I say that you make halwa, I will not get the halwa because you don't know how to make the halwa. So you should know how to do it. And reading the Veda, by studying the Veda, inspiration is not there. Of course, there are some stories in the Vedas. It is not there. But still, the way the stories are described in the Puranas, they give lot of inspiration. That is why Puranas or Smriti becomes a very important subject matter. How to do. Actually, these two are enough. What to do and how to do is enough. But some kida is there. Kida means some worm has entered into your brain. Kyun karna hai? Why to do? So this course, Ṣad-darśana, is only meant for such people. Those who have some worm in their consciousness. If there is no worm, no problem. You don't have to do this course at all. Chant Hare Krishna, do Hare Krishna. 16 rounds Hare Krishna. Attentively Hare Krishna. Go and serve Hare Krishna. That's all. If somebody says, why? Come. We'll make sure you chant and you surrender to Krishna. So that's the purpose of the third Prasthana called Nyaya Prasthana. The only purpose of philosophy is to convince you to surrender to Krishna. That's all. Actually, once you surrender to Krishna, what philosophy? No philosophy. Once you are experiencing love of Krishna, there is no philosophy. Where logic ends, philosophy ends. So actually, our philosophy is no philosophy at all. Our philosophy is only to the extent of you understanding, go beyond all philosophy. But still, people have this kida in their mind. Kida means, what do you say kida? It's a kida, man mein kida. What do you say in English? Very difficult to say certain axioms which are found in our native language in English. Iske man mein kida gussa hai. What do you say? Bug. Yeah, it's got a bug. Virus. If somebody has virus in their consciousness, attend this course. If you don't have virus, don't have to attend. You will get virus unnecessarily. This is the antivirus program, that's all. So, Nyaya, that is what to do, why to do. So, you go on speaking, somebody asks a question, you have answer. You have a question, you answer. Till the time he says, I have no question, just surrender. Tell over. That's called Nyaya. So, these are three sections in the Vedic literatures. Prasthana, Traya, Shruti Prasthana, Smriti Prasthana, Nyaya Prasthana. These are three categories. So let us go to the next chart, which is talking about the Shruti Prasthana. So you can go to the next chart, which says Shruti. Where does the Vedic literatures come from? Vedas come from Krishna. From Krishna, Narayana, Brahma, and Lord reveals Veda, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yat Surayaha. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yat Surayaha. You know that famous verse from the first canto, first chapter, first verse of Bhagavatam. What is it? Janma Jasyato Anmayaditarata Charthe Shabiknaswarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. Adikavi means who? Brahma. Adikavi refers to Brahma. Many people think Brahma, Tene Brahma, that Brahma refers to Vedas. Here the word Brahma refers to Vedas, not Chaturmukha Brahma. Adikavi refers to Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. So the Lord gave the knowledge of Vedas to Brahma. Originally, there was only one Veda called Yajus. You can see the chart, you will find Yajus there. And that one Yajus was divided into 4. Actually, all the 4 Vedas are there, but it was not really categorized. Vyasa, he made these Vedic literatures into different categories. Categorization of Vedic literatures happened by Vyasa. That is why it's called Vyasa. One who edits, one who is an editor is called Vyasa. Now he divided the one Veda into four: Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda. Four Vedas. Actually he divided into three: Rig Veda, Yajurveda and Samaveda. What was left over is known as Atharva Veda. That is why Krishna also in the Bhagavad Gita says, Rig Sama Yajurevacha. Vedyam Pavitram Omkara Rig Sama Yajurevacha. He doesn't use the word Atharva. Why? Because Vyasa divided the Vedas into Rig, Yajur, Sama, and what was left over became Atharva. Atharva Veda is considered to be not such a high class Veda. There are two reasons for it. Because it deals mostly with the body world maintenance, etc., etc. And also there are certain tantras, Tantra Shastra originates from the Atharva Veda. So it is not considered very high class. So just Rig Sama Yajurevacha. It's not very, very sattvic. There are some mantras which are basically born out of passion, some mantras which are born out of tamas, especially the Ishtika Yagya, that is Dashrath Maharaj. Which yagya he performed? Putraka Meshti, Ishtika, that is Atharva Veda Yagya, Ishtika Yagya. And that is where this word eat, Ishtika, comes from. Eat means brick. It is coming from the word Ishtika Yagya. Putraka Meshti, eat, Ishtika, eat, Itika, like that. So in all the four Vedas, there are four sections known as Samhitas, Brahmanakas, Aranyakas and Mantras. When you say Mantras, it refers to Upanishads. Okay? So a small chart which is there. Some statistics. It's good to know some statistics also. Because when you have statistics, it gives authenticity. You don't have to remember, but to just have an idea. So there are total 1,130 chapters in all the four Vedas. Rig Veda 21 chapters, Yajur Veda 100, Sam Veda 1000, Atharva Veda 9. And the sages to whom Vyasa gave these four Vedas, it is there in the Bhagavatam itself. Paila Rishi, he got Rig Veda, Yajur Veda was given to Vaishampayana, Sam Veda was given to Jaimini, Atharva Veda was given to Angira. And these sages further, they created many shakhas. Shakhas mean branches. Number of shakhas in the Rig Veda, 5 shakhas, Yajur Veda, 86 shakhas, Sam Veda, 12 shakhas, and Atharva Veda, 9 shakhas. Even till today, suppose a person, a Brahmana, in a Brahmin family, a boy is born, in whichever shaka he is born, only that Veda he will learn. Yeah. Because he is born for that. Sometimes you are born for that. Actually, everybody was born for something. And we do something else, that is a problem. So I am talking from the material point of view. Everybody is born for only doing bhakti. But at the same time, when it comes to material activities, or you do it as material activities in Krishna service, you are born for a particular thing. That is somehow misunderstood. Somebody is born to sing only, let him sing only. Why you want to teach mathematics to him? Not required. Somebody is born for cooking, you should cook only. Not why you have to do something else? You may do many things, but there are certain people born for particular thing. That is how it is. Even language. Suppose you are born in Ukraine. Why you are born in Ukraine? Why Krishna made you take birth in Ukraine? To speak that language, Ukrainian language. So you learn hundreds of languages, but speak Ukrainian. You should teach. Once you teach Ukrainian till the age of 5, 6, 7, and then you can teach English and all. Now what happens? A baby is born here in India. As soon as the mother wants to teach him rhymes, he goes to the school and he learns rhymes, and it's not rhyming at all. He is not born to learn that. So it's so crazy. That is why when the Britishers, when they see Indians speaking English, they laugh at it. They are not meant for that. You learn many languages, you can speak, no problem. Hundreds will learn. But basically you should learn the... So the birth matters a lot in the shakas. They learn that particular Veda in that particular line only. They eat that particular food, they chant in a particular way. So they are so strict and rigid in that. Even till today, many people are rigid in that, shakas. So shaka matters a lot. And what is the content? Praises, sacrifices, chants, and body world maintenance, etc. These are the certain introduction, that's all. Whatever mantras are there in the Rig Veda, the Samveda does it in a different tune, that's all. I'm not going to deeper aspects of what these Vedas are, how they are chanted, what is Ganapata and all these things, just to give you some idea, that's all. So there is Hota, Advayur, Udghata, Brahmana. There are 4 kinds of priests which are required for any yajna. These 4 priests, they do these, they chant these Vedic Vedas, Hota, Advayur, Udghata and Brahmana. And there are Upavedas in each Vedas. There are Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Shilpa, Sthapayat Veda, and Grihya Sutras, Sthapayatya Veda. And now only 6% are left. Only 11 Samhitas, 18 Brahmanakas, 7 Aranyakas, 220 Upanishads. Out of 1130 Upanishads, 220 are only left. Out of 1130 Aranyakas, 7 Aranyakas only left. 1130 Brahmanakas, 18 Brahmanakas are left. Out of 1130 Samhitas, only 11 are left. Okay? Yeah.
Maharaj, what is the difference between the name of the sage and the priest?
Yeah, name of the sage, Vyasa, when he made disciples, he made 5 major disciples. For 4, he gave 4 Vedas. For 1, Romaharsha, he gave the Puranas. That is there in the Bhagavatam. And later on, what happened is, they divide different shakas. Okay. Now, somebody is organizing a sacrifice. And you require all the 4 Vedas to be present. How all the 4 Vedas will be present? In the form of these 4 kinds of priests. One who is Hotaram, one who is Advayur, who chants the mantras, and Brahmana, who actually becomes and maintains, see everything is proper or not, a manager, one who makes the sacrifice arena. So these are the 4 kinds of priests which are required for every sacrifice. So that is why they are known as Hota, Advayur, Udghata, and Brahmana. These 4 kinds of priests, 4 minimum Brahmanas should be there. From these trained, who are trained in these 4 aspects of a sacrifice. That's all. Okay? So let's go to the next chart. That is where is the chart? Smriti. What?
3 numbers.
Yeah, just one. Yeah, 3rd. Smriti. 3rd chart. So in this Smriti, the categories of scriptures which come under Smriti, among them the first one is known as Vedanga, the second one is Agama, third is Purana, Itihasa, Kavya, Pancharatras. These are things. Let us go one by one. So when you say Smriti, there are first aspect of the Smriti is Vedanga, limbs of Vedas. Vedanga. You heard about Vedangas, but what are they? 6 in number. Yeah, 6 in number. What are they? Siksha, Vyakarana, Nirukti, Chanda, Jyotish, and kalpa. These are the 6 Vedangas. To do anything Vedic, you need to know or you need to be trained in these Vedangas, 6 Vedangas. So, first one is Siksha. What is the meaning of Siksha? How to pronounce. How to pronounce. Like in alphabets, in English you have alphabets. A, B, C, D. Now it is known as phonetics. In every language it was there before. Teachers used to teach how to pronounce. Now they are coming back to the same roots, that they want to make the child pronounce properly. Because of the past many years, about 15, 20 or maybe 30 years, they did not focus on this pronunciation. And later on they found the children are not studying well and their mind is not proper. So earlier, when we were small children, we used to go to school, there was one master who used to come with a stick like this. And you had to say, when he says, when he says, one big, then comes out nicely. That's training. Now if you go, if these are phonic classes, separate classes are happening now. Of course they are doing in English, but actually every child should learn how to pronounce. Srila Prabhupada says speech is the most important quality of a man. Man means woman also, everyone. So these days people don't know how to speak. They are very good engineers, but they don't know speaking. Computer engineer, that engineer, but you don't know how to speak. Because you have not learned how to pronounce. Akshara. The first alphabet of Sanskrit language is A. And the last one is what? Ksha. And if you combine both, it becomes Aksha. Akshara. One of Krishna's name is Akshara. So all these alphabets actually Krishna's names. It is all material, no? Every alphabet is is name of Krishna, and every word is the name of Krishna. Madhvacharya talks about every word. In Sanskrit, a year is called what? Not year. Y-E-A-R. Samvatsara. That is the name of Krishna. Samvatsara is the name of Krishna. Sam means samyak. Vatsa means child. Samyak vatsan ramayati iti samvatsaraha. One who gives complete enjoyment to his children, who are all his children, that is called, and he is known as Krishna, he is Samvatsara. Samyak vatsan ramayati. Like you take any word, it refers to Krishna. So, education of Veda and Vedangas, they are actually Krishna consciousness. Education means Krishna consciousness. So, Siksha, Veda Purusha, mouth of Veda Purusha, Siksha. Now, every Vedanga, there is a sage who have written some sutras. So, Panini, Swara, these are phonic sciences, Sammata, Siddhanta, there are many sages have written how to pronounce each and every alphabet. And there is a big science behind it. How this alphabet has come into picture. Why? Where did it come from? How did it come from? Ka. How did Ka word come from? Originally, it all came from Krishna's sound, Om. And from it translates into the Damru of Lord Shiva. There's a big science behind it. Phonics is a big science, Siksha. It is not, if you ask why you call a cat, there is no, cat is cat, what is this question? Vidala, if you say why it is called, then you go, they'll give 1 hour lecture on you and then make sure that you are completely fed up and says, okay, I accept it. Now, Vyakarana, Siksha, and then there is Vyakarana. Vyakarana means when you have alphabets, when you combine the alphabets, how do you combine the alphabets? How do you combine the words? There are two combinations. One is Sandhi, other is Samasa. Sandhi and Samasa, Vyakarana. Now you may say, why are you talking all these things, Prabhu? Let's go to the subject. Without this, you cannot go to the subject. That is the purpose. Purpose is, without being trained in the Vedangas, you cannot do anything Vedic. You may say, Prabhupada didn't say all these things. Yeah, he saw. He said all these things. How did he say? When you are sitting in the Bhagavatam class, the speaker, he makes you chant every word, isn't it? What is that? Why? What is it called? That is Siksha. That is Siksha. And then he makes sure that you repeat the word to word meaning. What is that? Vyakarana and Nirukti. And then he makes you chant the entire verse, isn't it? Why? That is Chanda. And why Bhagavatam class is not at morning 4 o'clock? Why not afternoon 12 o'clock? Why only at 8 o'clock? There is a time for it. Everything has its time after Guru Puja. Well, Bhagavatam can be done any time, but there is a particular time for it. What you do it? Why don't you have your lunch at morning 3:30? There is a time for it, isn't it? You can do anything, anytime, it doesn't work. It's called Jyotish. Jyotish means time science. And then Kalpa, how do you conduct yourself? How do you sit? There's one tape, I don't hear the tape, one devotee was telling when Prabhupada was shouting at one devotee, sit properly. What does Kalpa? So don't say Prabhupada has not given. You did not identify. Then say Prabhupada has not given, as if you know everything what Prabhupada has given. Sit properly. Nirukti. Nirukti is contextual meaning. Word to word meaning is there, na? Word to word meaning. Contextual meaning. Nirukti is context. Meaning according to the context. Like the word Atma. The word Atma.
Okay, can be different translations.
Contextual. According to context, the meaning varies. Isn't it? What is the meaning of Asura? Other meaning is? You want to know what is the other meaning of Asura? Asun ramayati iti asuraha. Asun means life. One who gives pleasure to life. It is Krishna. One of the names of Krishna is Asura. So if you see from the context of the 6 systems of philosophy, because of the language, and people have used it properly and misused it properly. Because all the sages, 6 systems of philosophy, all the sages, they base their philosophies on one source, that is Veda. That is why they are called atheistic, or they are called theistic. All of them, you give the same Veda, same Upanishads. When Gautama read, he told atom is the source of everything. Same Upanishad, Vaisheshika, is a combination of atoms, Kannada told. The same Upanishads, Sankhya, Kapila said, everything is material nature. Because of this, of the nature of that, of the Vedas language. So proper training is required in all these things. This Kalpa, Nirukti. So this is the Vedanga part of it, Vedangas. And each Vedanga itself is a very great subject matter of study, and there are a lot of people who are expert in these Vedas and Kalpas. And then comes Agama. Yeah. Anytime anybody has question, just ask. Don't have to wait for the end of the class to ask the question. Even those who are online, you can just unmute yourself and then ask question. That opportunity has to be given from the admin, that they can unmute any time and then ask question. So don't mind that okay, this class will be disturbed. More disturbance, more nice. Yes.
Maharaj, we study like the Vedas are like they are personified person. Also.
Yeah.
And here we are talking about like the limbs of the Vedas.
Yeah.
And you somewhere you mentioned like Shiksha is the mouth of that Veda. So like he must have some ear or
Yes.
So these
Chanda ear, eyes are Jyotish. Veda Purusha, there is one verse also. I did not quote that verse. I don't remember that verse. There is a verse we can find out. Those who are good internet, you find out that verse is there. Veda Purusha, these Angas are there. Yeah. Yes. Jyotish are the eyes of the Vedas. Veda Purusha, Veda Purusha's eyes, Jyotish. Veda Purusha means Krishna. Jyotish is the eyes of Krishna. Yeah. So Jyotish is a big science. People have just reduced the word Jyotish only to predictive astrology. Predictive astrology is only 2% of Jyotish Shastra. Predictive astrology is only 2% of Jyotish, and that is the third class, that's not high class. High class Jyotish means what time you get up, what time you sleep, what time you are supposed to travel. These are called Jyotish Shastra. Which seed you have to put, what time, which nakshatra you are supposed to start your plowing the field. This is called Jyotish Shastra. Everything, every aspect is Jyotish Shastra. So in our village, nobody would do anything without asking in Jyotish. Not necessarily tell me what is going to happen, whether I am going to get the loan or not. That's very cheap. These days, that is how it has become. It's not that. Something more subtle. Suppose somebody falls sick, then first, before going to a doctor, they would go to Jyotish. Jyotish said that, okay, there is no way, no medicine will work. Keep him at home. After 3 days, go. Then only they would go. Yeah. So it's like that. So it's a very deeper science.
This Vedangas, as we initially started, majority of the people don't agree Smriti is part of Vedas.
Yes.
Then in this chart you are showing under Smriti Vedangas.
Yeah.
So in one sense it should be in the Shruti itself. Vedangas.
Yeah, Vedangas are there in the Shruti. Everything is in the Shruti. But when, for example, there is no knowledge which is beyond the scope of Vedas. But you cannot directly find out and learn from the Shruti. So what a sage does is, he grasps those things and then gives it to you. Very materialistic thing, I'll tell one thing. One person approaches a sage and says, I want to get a beautiful wife. Beautiful and dutiful wife, both. So then the sage, he gives, do these things. And he takes from the Veda and he puts it in his memory, and then according to the circumstance, what that person can do, he gives the thing. And that becomes Smriti. But he bases everything from the Shruti only. Now somebody may ask this question, that you are talking about Radha Krishna, where you will find about Radha Krishna in the Vedas? Isn't it? That is a valid question. The Smritis are greater than the Shruti. That doesn't mean the Smriti has some other source. It is based on it, but it is very difficult to find. That is the expertise of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma, who has given the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy based on what? The Shruti. He quotes a Shruti for every aspect of our philosophy. There is a mantra in the Upanishads, Shyamat Chamalam Prapadye, Chamalat Chamam Prapadye. So is Shyamala, Radharani, Shyama Krishna. So the Rasa Lila has been described in a seed format in the Veda, but people could not have any idea. And you have to, when you are talking about Radha Krishna Rasa Lila, then you have to give a reference from the Shruti also. Otherwise, you will have no locus standi, isn't it? You have to give it. It will be there in the Sukshma Rupa. Many things are there in the Sukshma Rupa, subtle format. Something new. So, Veda Guhyam means something which is very secret to the Vedas. How it is secret to the Vedas? Even though it has, it doesn't know. Even Vedas also don't know.
So how do they interpret that? Like you
Oh, many things. Many ways they interpret. Interpretation, hundreds and hundreds of ways they can do.
like this verse which you quoted, how would you ever say it? How would you translate?
Shama means dark. Dark means tamas. Can I have anything? That's called speculation. So all these philosophies come out of speculations. So very easy to, there is a lot of scope of speculation. But the difference between our speculation and the non-Vedic speculation is mental speculation, and ours is philosophical speculation. Prabhupada said, philosophical speculation is allowed. Yeah, so philosophical speculation. Okay, let's go to the Agamas. You have Agamas? Agama means what? There are two words here. One is known as Nigama, other one is known as Agama. Nigama and Agama. You heard this word Nigama any time? Yes, Nigama kalpataror galitam pralam. Nigama, what is the meaning Nigam? Why it is called Nigam? Nigama. Gama means go or coming. Where all the knowledge comes from. That is called Nigama. And something which came out is called what? Agama. Isn't it? Something which came out is called Agama. Something which comes out of Veda is called Agama. Kahan se Agaman hua? Isn't it? Agaman hua. There. So Nigama and Agama. So these Agamas are coming from the Veda, but they have different rishis who have compiled the different worships of different levels of energies. So now you have 5 levels of energies, 5 levels. First one is Shakta, Shaura, Ganapatya, Shaiva, Vaishnava. Srila Shankaracharya, he established Panchopasana. Heard about it? These are the 5. Worship of 5. He established 5 because these are the 5 levels of consciousness, 5 levels of energies, 5 levels of sources of energy. Like you ask a small baby, where do you get the milk from? The bottle. And after he grows up, then he says, hey, fridge, where is the milk coming from? No, milk comes from fridge. Now he goes out one day, 6-7-year-old boy, and goes out, he's playing. He says, hey, the milk is coming from the milk van. Milk van is the source of everything. Milk van is the source of everything. And gradually when he grows up and the school takes him for a picnic to a village, hey, milk is coming from the cow. Then the friend, hey, cow is giving milk because it's eating grass. Grass is growing because of rain. So, now tell me what is the source. So when people see the source, a limited source, they accept this is where everything comes from. The first source is energy. Some energy is there. Isn't it? People say when you talk to people, God, oh, some energy is there. Or they say Upar wala jane. Oh my God. Only God is up only, no, he's not down or what? He's niche wala also, he's a baju wala also, he's all wala, isn't it? Why only Upar wala? He's not just Upar wala, isn't it? Baju wala also. So some energy is there, some energy. So that's how the Shaktas, they become Shaktas. Throughout the world, mostly people are Shaktas. Shakti. You have Bengal, people in Bengal, they are all worshippers of Shakti. All this Shakti. Now, after some time, they perceive the sun. And then they say, the sun is moving, and this is actually Shakti because it is a visible source. Worshippers of sun, Saurashtra. Heard about this place? Saurashtra. All those people, all the way from Gujarat till Persia. Where is Persia? The present day Iran. The whole area was a Shaura worshippers. Worshippers of sun god. Parsi. They are all worshippers of sun god. Persia. Persians. From all the way from Gujarat. Saurashtra till all the way till Iran. They are all worshippers of sun god. And then there are some scriptures talking about how to worship sun. And then Ganapatya, Maharashtra. Ganapati Bappa, Moria. What Moria? I asked him, what is Moria? Moria. They tell some stories. It is not found in nothing to do with it. So, Ganapati, worshippers of Ganapati, because he removes all the obstacles. And then Shiva, the Shaiva Agamas, worshippers of Shiva. And then ultimately worshipping of Vishnu. So these are Vedic way of worshipping these 5 levels of sources of energy. That is Shakti, Surya, Ganapati, Shiva, Vishnu. And depending on the methodology of worship, there are Agamas for it. So how to worship Vishnu? According to the Vedic system that is mentioned in the books called the VIHE Agamas. Have you been to Tirupati any time? So when you go to Tirupati, onto the right side from, if you are going towards the Varaha Swami temple, onto the right side, there is a big building. There is written, VIHE Agama Archaka's residence. So Tirupati, the worship is done according to the VIHE Agama. Vishnu worship, or any worship rather, is done, especially Vishnu worship is done in 3 ways. Number 1 is Vaidika way, which is known as VIHE. Number 2 is by Pancharatra. Number 3, Tantrika. Pancharatra is also a Tantra, but it is a special category of Tantra. Of course, the 4th way is there, that is Pantha. Pantha means like Jagannath Puri. It is neither Vedic, nor Pancharatric, nor Tantric. It is specifically for that particular temple only. It is not that I have Jagannath deities, so I will take Madala Panji and worship the deities according to the Puri Pandas they do. It doesn't work like that. You cannot do that. The Puri Pandas, they take water in their palms and then see the reflection of Jagannath. If it is not found, all the bhoga which is considered, take it out, cook again. These things if you do, it's not possible. You go to Pandharpur and there is a particular way they worship the deity of the Pandharpur. Actually, originally, the Pandharpur deity, until unless you embrace the deity, your darshan is not complete. Yes, that is the pantha there. Years back, 20 years back, we used to do, we would go and worship, I like that only. Vithala is standing like this, you put your hands and then go like this and embrace. And then only you are sent. But now they don't even allow to touch. I did many times. Embrace the deity for 10 minutes like this. Nobody is there. Again, embrace like that, we do it. That's how there's a pantha like that. So it is a separate category. So, and then comes the Tantra Shastras. There is right and left, Sattvika Tantra and Tamasika, Rajasika Tantra and Tamasika Tantras. You heard about black magic, and there's also white magic. Black magic, white magic, all these things come from the Vedic literatures. Tantra Shastras. Now, after Tantras and Agamas, you have next chat.
So how is this Tantra where you can worship Krishna? So you mentioned Tantric way of worshiping Vishnu.
Tantric way of worshipping Vishnu. Oh, you go to Kerala, all the way from Udupi, all the way to Kerala, to Kanyakumari. There is a methodology they worship. The temples are like this, one like this, like this, and like this. And the pujari goes there, and then he does all the mudras. It is not, Pancharatra is also a tantra, but this is having lot of mudras, many mudras, and many bijaksharas they use. And because of the worship, the power of the deity is because of their worship. And our Acharyas, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, he has forbade us to use many mudras in our worship because that is an obstruction for developing raga. So, yeah. Because there the mood is that it is by my power, by chanting the mantras, my mantras, by my mudras, I invoke the presence of the Lord. Very powerful, there's no doubt about it. But that is an obstruction for raga. Interestingly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Udupi, he took 2 points from Madhva Sampradaya. Mayavad Khandana, other one is, people say deity worship. But our deity worship is much more closer to Sri Vaishnavas. Why is it so? Because the deity worship there is Tantra Sara, Madhvacharyas. So you don't accept that. But what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted, he did not accept deity worship. He accepted the mood in which they serve the deities. Accepting the deity as Krishna himself. Vigrahara Satyakari Mani. That is the word used. And we say deity worship we accept from Madhva. Then I had to break my hand. It's not. So it requires little bit, when you see a point, just go in depth, little bit depth, not just okay, deity worship accept. It's because of rajas it happens like that. Some water is there. Okay. Yeah, online Mataji is there. Sarvag. Yeah. Yeah, yes, please. Mataji, please. Yeah, speak. Agama. Yeah, I can hear you. It is known as Agama. Agama means something which came out of Nigama, came out of Veda. Agama, Nigama. Vedas, the knowledge coming out of Vedas is known as Agama. Like for example, if somebody wants to worship Ganesha, he goes to a Rishi. And a Rishi, he is well read in the Vedas. He takes the different aspects of worship of Ganesh, presents to that person in his own way according to time, place and circumstance. So that knowledge given by the Rishi to that particular devotee or the person, based on the Vedic literatures, that becomes Agama. Got it? Okay. Yeah, you had something. Yeah. Ganapati? Controller, Gana. Gananayaka. Gana means controller only. The meaning of the word Gana means controller. Ganapati, the controller of the controllers. The meaning of the word Ganapati means, Pati means Lord. Gana means controller. Ganas. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's something.
No, I think I understand.
You got it, okay.
This same concept of like Shakta, Shaurya and Ganapati Shiva. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also explains in Krishna Samhita.
Yeah.
And the evolution of the consciousness.
Yes, yes.
So, what is the difference like the one Shankaracharya?
Shankaracharya has given it because the Veda talks about these five. And those people, they thought we worship everybody on the same platform. They don't see it as evolution of consciousness. How the evolution of consciousness begins like this, a story like this. You go and ask, yeah, why it's happening, why Trump is doing like this, why this is happening. Some energy is there which is controlling, some vague idea. When things don't work according to his will, so he gets a realization. What is that realization? Some energy is there. So then when he's walking on the road, he says, where is that energy? And he sees the sun. He sees the sun is the thing where everything comes from. Sun is the source of all energy. But sun is moving. Who is making the sun move? Movement means somebody is making that person move. Huh? Who is that person? Ganapati, Ganesha. And who is this Ganesha? Ultimately, there is one Ishvara for him, Lord Shiva. And what is Lord Shiva doing? Chanting Hare Krishna and Vishnu. So in this way, there is a gradual evolution of consciousness. So a person comes all the way from Shakta. That is why recognizing the energy beyond your capacity, your perception, is the beginning stage of your evolution of consciousness, human consciousness. Got it? And they start worshipping. So all those people who are in these different levels of worship, they have to be brought up to a higher level over a gradual process. Yes, period of time. Even all the physicists, physics, and they perceive energy like that. They perceive this energy. Got it? Okay, next. Tantra Shastra. Yeah, those who are tamasic, they use the tamasic, the left side. They're using wine, doing abhishek, the wine of naked woman, all these things. They do all kinds of crazy. Go to Samshan, all these things. So they are you find basically all Christianity and Islam based on tamasic tantra. Biggest tantrics, full. They conquered nations because of tantra. So they became non-Vedic and they started killing the cows.
And their wine is like a sacred drink.
Yeah, wine is a sacred drink, all these things. Drinking blood, all these things. You don't know what Christianity is. Very bad, too tamasic. Cutting blood and all this. You just cannot even imagine. Because when you give up Siddhanta and take up this Tantra, isn't it? And Buddhist, this Tantric Buddhism, they are all tamasic. Whole Buddhism started with what? Ahimsa, Paramo Dharma. No, they don't even spare a cockroach. When you forget the Siddhanta, then you get into Tantra. Buddha, he preached around the world. And he told my teachings to be spread around the world. Then one of his disciples, he became very enthusiastic. And then he went and came back. When he came back, he had a garland of skulls. What are you doing? I have learned this Tantra so that I can preach Buddhism. The very purpose of my appearance is to get you out of this thing. And you took shelter of this for spreading Buddhism. So, that happens. So, all these drugs, whole hippie, Tantra. All this howling, shouting, and when they do the rock dance and rock music and all this, I don't know what Western music, where do they get the energy from? Where do they get it? From Tantra. Do all the rock stars and all, they hypnotize, they learn all this. This is a part of it. That's music for them. Where is veena? There is flute. Some modes of nature. Tamasic people are there. And they go so low into same-sex marriage and all these things are because of that. Okay, now Puranas. Open the next chart, Puranas. The notes for all these things are there in that particular PDF which I got, that is Vedas. Notes is there, you can just read it. You will get a lot of information from there. I am not doing the notes because that itself is a seminar. Why I am talking about all these things is to bring you to the point of what is the position of the 6 systems of philosophy within the entire Vedic tree. That's the reason. And also to have some, so that you can have some idea of what these scriptures are. Puranas, Purana, there are 18 Puranas categorized into 4. 6 are in the mode of ignorance. Matsya, Kurma, Linga, Shiva, Skanda, Agni. These 6 Puranas are in mode of ignorance. No. No. They are meant for the people in mode of ignorance. They are not in ignorance, please. Prabhuji, I heard Lord Shiva is in mode of ignorance. Oh, Bapre Bap. Shiva controls mode of ignorance. To control mode of ignorance, you need to have so much of sattva. Isn't it? The power for destruction is given to a person who is in mode of goodness. Who becomes the judge, tell me? Who has the power to give an order, hang him till death? One who is having that much of goodness. So, Lord Shiva is in so much of goodness that he is made in charge of mode of. So, the Puranas which are specifically meant for people in mode of passion are Brahmanda Purana, Markandeya Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Vamana Purana, Brahmaveda Purana and Brahma Purana. And so the same pastime, for example, Lord Ramachandra, he becoming angry on ocean because the ocean is not giving way. So that is described in the Tamasika Puranas, like when Lord Ramachandra became angry, the blood came out of his eyes. Blood came out. That is not described in Valmiki Ramayana. Because to get those people who are in tamas, they like all these things, blood coming on. If you tell Lord Ramachandra became angry, his eyes became pinkish. What? Hey, you're crazy. You play Veena and then sing Gita Govinda, flute with nice Mridangam. Kya hai? Neend aa raha hai, we are feeling sleepy. But for them you had to have some piano, drum and So same thing, but to get the people in that particular mode, right, different lures for different folks. That's the purpose. You build a temple, you have food for life, you have your classes, your kirtans, you have different things meant to attract different audience to Krishna. So that's the whole purpose. So some dramas used to happen in our street in our childhood. Drama on Mahabharata. Dushyasana disrobing Draupadi. So there are many songs written by different people. Mostly people, businessmen, and they're into mode of passion and ignorance. So the drama goes like this, and Draupadi is there, and Dushyasana comes trying to disrobe. And then all of a sudden, one cloth merchant will say, Krishna, you don't come, I am there. 100 saris from my side. That will all go to temple only for the dressing of the deity. So that's how you get people to serve Krishna, get attracted. And ultimately, it takes 7 days for Krishna to come and then protect Draupadi. And a lot of dialogues happen. That's called kavya. So based on the Puranas and Itihasas, many people have written kavyas. So Krishna consciousness is very vast. To attract certain kind of people, you require certain things. Even Vyasa also has made this thing. There is much more of ignorance, and there is goodness, Vishnu Purana, Naradi Purana, Garuda Purana, Padma Purana, Varaha Purana. Of course, Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for people in mode of pure goodness. And then based on, after Puranas comes the Itihasas and Kavyas. Itihasas, what is the difference between Itihasa and Purana?
It describes of many characters.
Puranas, very good.
And Itihasa only of one person.
Very good. Itihasa talks about one personality. In Sun dynasty, Lord Ramachandra appeared, and to describe Ramachandra in a Purana, it's not enough, because it takes a long history for it. So, Itihasa of Lord Rama is Ramayana. Krishna, Chandravamsha, Mahabharata. So, the Puranas talk about both the Vamshas, Chandravamsha and Suryavamsha. The kings appeared in the Chandravamsha and Suryavamsha. Chandravamsha, Suryavamsha kings, the Sun dynasty and the Moon dynasty. That is why there are two calendars also, basically, Sun calendar and Moon calendar. Moon calendar is Chandramana and Shauramana. Sun calendar is Shankranti to Shankranti, 1 month. Now here is Purnima to Purnima, it is 1 month. Or in South India, it is Amavasya to Amavasya. Either way you can calculate. So, Itihasa talks about, and also another aspect of Itihasa is that it should have been written when the person is there manifest. Asmin Sampratim Loke, Ramayana was written when Lord Rama was present on the planet. And Mahabharata was written when Krishna was on the planet. So that's how Itihasa has speciality. And Kavyas, Raghuvamsha, Shakuntala, these Kavyas, they are very special. They take one prasanga from Itihasa or Purana and put some masala in it, put some imagination into it, and then they describe the Kavya. That's how Kavya goes. And there is Upakhyanas, there is Upapuranas like that. Yes, yeah.
You give example of Itihasas, Mahabharata and Ramayana. And Purana, the Bhagavad Purana?
Purana, all the list is given, no? 18 Puranas. And each Purana has got Upapurana. Each Purana has got Upapurana. And Upapuranas has got Upakhyanas.
So this Puranas also have five topics.
Puranam Panchalakshanam. Itihasa also have Panchalakshanam. Same, Panchalakshanam. Puranam Panchalakshanam. Next. Okay, now we go to the next subject. That is Pancharatra. Yeah, Pancharatras. Okay. So there are many Pancharatras. There are 108 of them. A few of them are listed here. And the speakers of Pancharatra are Brahma, Mahesha, Narada, Lakshmi, and many other rishis they have spoken, not just one speaker. And there are 108 worship, 108 Pancharatras are there. And based on the Pancharatras, different sampradayas, they write their own books based on Pancharatras. And now here we have our Pancharatra is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami. And for the material purposes, sanskaras, Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Satkriya Sara Deepika. And elaboration on, like for example, you have Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami says that you have to do Arati. Now, what kind of Aratis are there? How Panchadeepa, Ekadeepa, all these things, how it should be made, all these things you will find in, you have to do Chaturmas. How to do? That is in Haribhakti Vilas. So, don't reject Haribhakti Vilas saying that, oh, it's not practical, Prabhupada not talked about it. Haribhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami wrote it, Prabhu. And he gave a commentary to it. And using Damodara Ashtakam there. No. Of course, there are certain principles which are higher to the other principles, and there are certain things which you cannot do. But that doesn't mean that you reject that book altogether. There is a disease among us to reject Haribhakti Vilas, because he quotes from different Dharma Shastras. You are not able to practice, that is a different thing. But just because you cannot do, you reject it, that is... One devotee, I am not able to understand all these things, so it's not required for devotees. It's your problem, bhai. You are not able to understand, that is your problem. And you don't become the standard for all the devotees. No, you chant Hare Krishna and be happy, no problem. But that doesn't mean 6 systems of philosophy is not required for devotees, it's required. So many times, just because I cannot do, what do? Reject it for everyone. Just because I cannot understand, what do? Oh, these things of Rasa Panchadhyaya is not for us, Prabhupada not spoken. What? He wrote a commentary on it. Krishna Book talks about it. Because you cannot enter into the subject, that doesn't mean you don't become the standard Acharya for everyone. So it is there. Very important. Nectar devotion. These are the things. Okay, this Pancharatra over. Now we go to the next. Pancharatra scriptures, they talk about 2 sections in Pancharatra. One is the different forms of the Lord and how to do the worship of the Lord. And Pancharatra is part of Smriti. Smriti. Part of Smriti, not Shruti.
But this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Smriti because it's compilation of...
Yes, it is Smriti.
But in Bhakti Vilas also
Smriti.
Puranic verses...
Yes, all Smriti. Anything which a particular Acharya has written, that becomes a Smriti. And this is Smriti for us. The law book for ISKCON. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is a law book for ISKCON. It is Smriti for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And every Acharya, every Sampradaya has their own Smritis. Nityanusandhana for Madhvas, and for the Vashi Vaishnavas, and for the Swaminarayan, there is Siksha Patri. He says, my disciples are supposed to do all this, prescription. See, you have hundreds of doctors, and they have all studied from the same medical board. They have the same certificate. But you go to one doctor, he gives a particular prescription. You go to another doctor, he gives a particular prescription. Why? Because it is his sampradaya. It is his experience. He does it a particular way. Same way every place. So every Acharya, if you are connected to ISKCON, you have to follow this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That is the rule. Because you are connected to Gaudiya Vaishnavism. This your Rupa Anuga. We appreciate all Shri Vaishnava, Madhva, what they are doing, Dandavat, but we don't accept those things. Not because it is wrong or because it is what Acharya are given this Smriti. This is our Smriti, that's all. So generally, you should not argue on Smriti. There is no argument on Smriti. There is argument in philosophy. Smriti means Smriti. No Madhva will come and say, why are you chanting Hare Krishna Mantra? Where is it written? Your Guru has told 16 rounds, na? Chup chap, that's all. You follow your Guru. There is no, of course, the aspect of culture, lack of culture, we do all these things. Then comes Nyaya Prasthana. So you have in the Smriti, what are the sections? Vedangas, Agamas, Puranas, Itihasas, Kavyas, and Pancharatras. So yeah, these are the categories in Smriti. Okay. Now comes, if somebody doesn't accept the Smriti and says, oh, who are you, all of you, I do not do, why I should do? Then comes Nyaya. Yeah. Please. Dandvat.
Maharaj, you mentioned that Shastras from other sampradayas, we don't not that we don't have them, not that they are wrong. So like you mentioned Swami and they also have one Shastra on is this Swami the way of philosophy and their worship? What about it?
Good question. His question is, I mentioned Swami Narayan. I think he's from Gujarat somewhere, so he has a question. So there is one sampradaya called Swami Narayan. Their original Acharya is Sahajananda Swami, who was initiated into the Ramanandi Sampradaya. Ramanandi is a North Indian branch of Ramanuja Sampradaya. So he went to Gujarat. He was born in UP and he went to Gujarat. There he found all the businessmen around there. And he thought that I had to deliver them by giving what they can do. So he gave a particular Smriti called Sikshapatri. Sikshapatri. That is a Smriti for my followers. He says, my followers are supposed to do these things. In that, he mentions that we are followers of Acharya and our Siddhanta is Vishishtadvaita. He clearly says that. But his followers don't even know the spelling of Ramanuja. That is the problem. I took a class on Sikshapatri to Swaminarayan followers. हम तो रोज पढ़ते हैं, हमको मालूम ही नहीं है. We read it every day, but we don't know. They read it every day. We are followers of Ramanuja. Our philosophy is Vishishtadvaita. I told, do you know who is Acharya? No. You have no idea. So when you don't study, or when you don't understand what you are studying, you will become another Swaminarayan one day. So what they did is, they forgot the 7th verse of Guru Ashtakam. They only took half line of it. Sakshat Haritvena. Second line they forgot. What is it? They only focus on the non-difference of Guru and Krishna, but did not focus on the difference. So in this way they become Mayavadis. See, Mayavad is not only in Shankaracharya's book. It is in your consciousness. So Mayavad. So they became Mayavadis. Though they were worshipping the deity and they made his Guru as God. Narayan is Swami. Then what they did? Our Guru is Swami Narayan. He is only Narayan. He is only our Swami. And they put Krishna somewhere else. They worship Krishna, but somewhere else. But main Guru deity is there. Big deity of Guru. So International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada established, Prabhupada deity is there. But worship is for whom? Krishna. He established Krishna's deity. Originally, Sahajananda Swami gave only Krishna deity. Very first verse of Sikshapatri says, we were worshippers of Radha Krishna in Vrindavana. Yes. They are originally Vaishnavas. But later on, when businessmen take control over the sampradaya. Business and take control of sampradaya. Then what happens? Education is lost. Nobody studies anything. When you don't study, then gone. The essence of every sampradaya is study, 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 study. You may say, I am chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Very good. Nityananda Prabhu personally gave Hare Krishna mantra to everyone in Bengal. But what happened in Bengal? All Aul, Baul, Prakrita, all came there. All chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Prakrita Sahajiyas, Martha Brahmana, all this. 13 varieties came. Where was actually originally, the original way Gaudiya Sampradaya lasted? Vrindavan, because Shad Goswamis wrote books. Books are the basis. Books are the basis. So study. If you don't study, very easy to become Swami Narayana. Got it, Prabhuji? Okay. Okay. So now comes Nyaya. If somebody doesn't listen to what has been told, then come to this torture. Nyaya, Upanishads. You see, Upanishads are known as the Vedanta, the end of the Vedas. The other three, Samhitas, Brahmanakas, Aranyakas, they are known as the Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and Upanishads are known as the Jnana Kanda, which is known as Vedanta, which talks about how to get out of this world. Other three mostly talk about how to be in this world. So, Upanishads. Now what happened is, based on the Upanishads, the darshanas came into picture. This is where 6 systems of philosophy originated. All the sages, that is Gautama, Kanada, Kapila, Patanjali and Vyasa, they studied the same Upanishads and presented them in sutra format with different conclusions. That's the basis. I'll repeat again. All the 6 sages, they studied the same Upanishads, presented them in a sutra format like Nyaya Sutras, Vaisheshika Sutras, Sankhya Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Mimamsa Sutras and Vedanta Sutras, and gave different conclusions. Different overall, 1130 Upanishads, they are available for them.
This is different, like when we say in the Vedas, Vedas are composed of four parts, like Puranas and Upanishad. So we are talking about that Upanishad?
Yeah, that Upanishads. Yeah, we're talking about that Upanishads.
All the 6 sages, they studied this.
All the 6 sages. That is why they are known as theistic atheism. They are all theistic atheism. Why they are theistic? Because they prove Veda as absolute truth. The way Nyayikas and Vaisheshikas, they establish Veda as the Pramana, even many Vaishnava scholars cannot establish that. Yeah. They go to a lot of details in explaining how Veda is absolute. Veda is Apaurishaya. Yes. And that is why we talk about them. And we don't talk about why not talk about Islam, Christianity? Because they don't base on Veda. So you should not talk about them at all, because there is no philosophy. If you say some philosophy, Jesus, Muhammad. The same thing comes to here also. If you say, oh, I have a question. Prabhupada said. Okay, what said? Please explain. Keep your mouth shut by saying Prabhupada said it's Christianity.
And how they are theistic atheists?
Because they are theistic, because they are all accepting Vedas.
And atheist?
The conclusion is atheism. Just imagine, after reading all the Upanishads, Gautama came with the idea that atom is the source of everything. And he proved, he's so intelligent. He proved it.
It is like one person has done PhD in Mahaprabhu's life,
Yeah.
and after that he came to conclusion that how come they worship Krishna, and how come he's a saint. That means they are not able to understand that
Yeah.
Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and Mahaprabhu is just a saint.
Some-
After doing PhD also.
That's probably the PhD. Don't do PhD. See, PhD is a system which is established by the Anglican, by Max Muller, the Western system of education, so that you can conclude whatever you want. That is called PhD. So those who do PhDs, they are all gone. They go mad. Somebody told me, Prabhuji, why don't we have affiliation with that university and this university? I told, those should affiliate with us. Other universities should come and affiliate with us, isn't it? What is affiliation and all? Our PhD is with the Achar, sit in a stand, not just some intellectual work. Of course, there are some people who want to do PhD, get some recognition and all. That's all fine. That is all yukti. The standard is study according to the sampradaya, rules and regulations. Not that you can be a smoker, you can be a drunkard, and then still I am doing PhD on Bhagavad Gita. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so we'll go to the darshanas.
You said Gautama concluded that atom is the source.
Yes.
So it is because, similar like you suggested earlier, that that sutra can be expanded in any way,
Yes,
in
yes.
different ways.
Yes, yes.
And we hear like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nimai Pandit, he also, with the same pramana, he proved it's a warning, and same pramana he proved.
Yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best of all the Nyayikas. Navya Nyaya, he was expert in that, Navya Nyaya, new Nyaya, new system of Nyaya. He was so expert that he wrote a book on Nyaya. So then that book was given to one of the scholars of Nyaya. So then he read the book. Oh, after you writing such a book, who will care for my book? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took that book, threw it in the water. Hey, Janet, your book should be famous. Anyway, he knows there is no use of all these things. Of course, there is some use, but the conclusion is not so good. We'll talk about Nyaya when we do tomorrow evening, when we do the class on Nyaya, we'll talk about this Nyaya. So this is how the 6 systems of philosophy comes into picture. Of course, we'll talk about it in the next session, once a small break and then take a next session. Then we have the Bhashyas, the Vedanta Sutras written by Vyasa. They are commentaries on it. The commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is known as Bhashya. The commentary on Vedanta Sutra given by Srila Shankaracharya is known as Sharirika Bhashya. That is monoistic, or in other words, it is known as Mayavada. And the commentary given by the Vaishnava-acharyas are like this: Nimbaraka-acharya, Dvaita-dvaita, Vishnu-Swami, Shuddha-dvaita, Ramanuja-acharya, Vishishta-dvaita, Madhva-acharya-dvaita, Baladev-Vidyabhushan Prabhu is Achintya, Bheda, Abheda. So you have a nice overview of all the scriptures. No? Got it? So the Ṣad-darśanas coming under which Prasthana? Nyaya Prasthana. Nyaya Prasthana.
That section of Nyaya includes the darshanas, which one of those darshanas is also Nyaya.
Yeah, yes, yes.
So it's not the same.
Yeah, don't get confused. Nyaya Prasthana is there. Nyaya means logic. Within that, the 6 systems of philosophy, one of the names of philosophy is Nyaya. Got it? Chalo. So, yeah.
Just a request, we can't hear the students on site, if they can use a mic.
Yes, they should use the mic. So whenever they ask a question, whenever you ask a question, then you should take the mic and ask the question. I told them. Otherwise, they will not answer. Okay, accepted. Okay, so we'll take a 10 minutes break, and because the class is till 2 o'clock today, so we'll just take a 10-minute break, Gayatri break, maybe 15 minutes break also, no problem. We come back at 12:15. Some Gayatri, take water. And 12:15, we are back, take some rest and digest what has been spoken. And if you have some questions, you can ask later also. And now, after the break, we are going to do their position. There is one thing which is given to you, that is their position. What is, okay, there means
Yes.
6 systems of philosophy. What is their position? What exactly is there? And why importance? Now, the introduction to Vedas, all Vedic literatures, and after that, introduction to the 6 systems of philosophy in general. That is the subject matter for the next session. So we'll meet at 12:15. Hare Krishna.